Welcome to String of Pearls. In this episode, I get an early start, get really frustrated, and then go on a little rant about all this situation we're in. I do get a little work done too, but not nearly as much as I wanted before the rains came. So stay tuned, and thanks for watching. Morning. It's early. I haven't even really had time to have my first sip of coffee yet. But I'm trying to get an early start today. I feel like I got a lot to do. I've reached a couple of conclusions in the night. I decided to go get some stuff from West Marine to fill in those gaps there on the front. There's a thing you can buy. I forget the name of it, but it's a tube of epoxy that is unmixed in the tube, and it has a mixing tube, and so you squirt it together and it mixes in the tube, and it's already thickened and all that stuff. And so I'm going to get a few of those. They're expensive, and if you don't use the whole tube, you can waste it, because what remains in the little mixer tube hardens, and so you end up wasting some. But for the little spots that I've got to get to and fill up, I think that's going to be the best stuff to use it. So I'm going to go into West Marine. West Marine's been pretty good to us. I have a pro account there, so I get a little discount. Sometimes it's a lot of discount on things, and so I like West Marine. I like the people. They hire local people, and they have good boat stuff. So that's where I'm headed. Well, here's our first problem of the day. The West Marine doesn't open until 10. I guess they have closer hours or shorter hours in the middle of all this freaking virus. So that's the problem. Rats. So to try to make best use of the time, I'm going to head down and clean up the area a little bit, and maybe cut out a couple of those bad spots, so that when it does open up at 10, everything will be nice and clean and ready to go. So try not to waste too much time today. That's not going to be annoying all day filming with that, is it? Holy cow. I don't think I'm going to beat this weather. I just checked the radar, and it looks like this weather may be coming in a little bit sooner. Look, it's already cloudy. So I may just have to clean this spot up, go get that silicone, that epoxy stuff, seal this up, cover it up, and then wait for the weather to get through. That is pretty frustrating. Damn. Well, okay, that's what it is. I'm gonna blow this stuff out. Okay, now I'm getting a little frustrated because this job just keeps getting kind of bigger. I'm worried now about the backing behind those aluminum sheets. I took a look and tried to pry them off, but they don't want to come off, so that's good. But I needed an angle grinder
because I gotta grind some of this stuff away, and the tools I have just aren't adequate. So I'm just gonna go have to buy one. We have a cheap tool store here, and I'll go run over there and see if they have either an air-powered one that I can run off the compressor, or maybe a cheap electric one. I don't know. I'll take a look and see which is less expensive. But yeah, so a little frustrated, hanging in there, but a little frustrated right now. So, yesterday on my video, I talked about the power of buying local and stuff like that, and then here, and the next thing I know, I'm saying, well, I'm gonna go run to one of these places and buy a cheap tool. Well, that cheap tool is more than likely made in China, and although the particular company I was thinking about is an American company, I don't know, it's certainly not local. They employ some local people, but it's not a local company. So, either I'm going to be serious about this stuff or I'm not. So I have changed my mind about that and done a little research, and I think that I'm going to go to the local St. Simon's store, the local St. Simon's Ace Hardware, which has a really good power tool selection, and buy one that's American made. There's some good brands there that are American made, and I think that's what I'm going to do, and keep my business there. That local Ace Hardware is also family owned, just like the one I was in yesterday. It's family owned, and I think that I'm going to buy from them and not go buy from some business that's really doesn't have that much local involvement. So yeah, makes sense. If you're going to say something, mean it, So that's what I'm going to do.
On the way, I decided to stop by West Marine and get my supplies.
Well, so my frustration continues. The local West Marine during the coronavirus does not take cash. I thought cash was legal tender for all debts, public and private. That's the stupidest thing. That's pretty frustrating. Oh, why didn't you just use a card? Well, remember how in my videos the other day I told you that I forget things a lot? Yeah. So that's been a huge waste. Huge waste of time. Huge waste of time. And that's a stupid thing. They're in there walking around he's got his little gloves on. And I said, well, why? Why won't you take cash? Well, it's a policy, it's corporate policy, and I told him, I said, well, unless you're changing those gloves after you touch everything that you touch, those gloves aren't doing you any good anyway. It's corporate policy. Well, that's stupid. So it just reinforces the whole thing about doing business with local people, family owned, because that's a stupid decision. I tell you this, somebody wants to pay me cash, I'll take it. Sorry, that's a little rant. What a waste of time. I wasn't going to get into it in these videos about this whole stupid virus thing. And I don't know anything about a lot of this stuff, but I do know this, is the shutdown of the country is ruining more people than this virus ever thought about doing. And look, understand, you know, if you get it and you get really sick and you die, that is horrible. I really do feel terrible for the country. There's a great story out of Athens, Georgia, about a guy who is just a fantastic guy who survived it. And, you know, I'm looking at what they're doing in Sweden. They didn't shut down anything. And the statistics for them, by not shutting down anything, are the same as everywhere else. So it didn't hurt from the statistics. It doesn't look like Sweden is worse off by leaving the country open. I mean, the virus is here. We can't do anything about it. You know, I know they're trying to limit the number of people that get it, but I think that all we're doing is just prolonging it. And in the meantime, we're crushing business. I mean, our business is zero. You know, and here I am trying to run around and get stuff done that needs to be done. And I'm sure there are millions of people like me that are trying to get stuff done that can't. And statistics wise, you know, it doesn't look to me like it's helping. I probably won't include this on the actual video, but I think that all of this stuff is completely absurd. And it is crushing people that are trying to make it. Okay, so here we are at the local Ace Hardware. Let's see how things go in here. Okay, here's what I found out. I got what they have here, and what I'm going to end up going with is this Makita angle grinder. It's not an American brand, but it'll work. And then I got this little gator blade thing here. So, but at least I bought it locally. Now I got to see if they have that epoxy I'm looking for. Alright, so here we are in the marine section. I swear to you, you put the word marine on something and the price goes through the roof. Alright, so let's look and see what they have. So there's that 5200 sealant. $24.99 a tube. That stuff's expensive. I've got some 5200, so I don't need to buy any of that. But what I was looking for was a tube of the pre-mixed epoxy. Now, I've got this stuff here for $23.99. Wonder what this is like. Evercoat, permanent repairs of fiberglass, wood, metal, and plaster. Wonder what it is. Let's look and see. I've never heard of it. Place desired amount of filler on the clean, non-fibrous mixing board. Add a ribbon cream hardener from edge to edge, and then mix, and then apply. Okay. Let me look and see here. Decisions. Okay, so that went all right. I guess. I don't know. We'll see. I like the Makita is the brand that I like. And so I feel okay about that. They're not an American brand, but that's all they had there. I don't need, if I was a professional and doing angle grinding stuff every day, they had a Milwaukee in there, which is a great brand. It's like 160 bucks. And you know, the reality is I really don't need something that nice. For what I do, I don't need something that expensive and nice. It's a super nice brand, and I don't need it. and I think that what I got will be just fine. But I'm glad I worked with those guys. It's not that they were camera shy, they were just busy and in a hurry, and nobody really had time to talk on camera. So I just left all that off there as far as talking to them about it. And then I'm going to try that putty stuff I got and see. I've used some stuff like that before where you just kind of mix it up and then put it on with a spackling knife. I've got one of those spackling knives. It definitely is. I wish that I had that tube stuff just because it's easier. But this stuff was not very expensive, and if it does what it says it's going to do, it'll be just right to fix those fiberglass holes up. I know that I'm going to do a bunch of fiberglass repairs along that lower edge, and so what I want to try to do is just form a good base that I can put fiberglass over. But you want to have the fiberglass stick into stuff. So I don't know, I'm gonna really just have to keep looking at this, and this weather's coming, and it's not supposed to be like this on a Saturday. It's supposed to be nice and relaxed and low blood pressure and stuff like that, and here I am all stressed out. Yeah. Here's something pretty interesting. If you listen, you can hear how the sound travels faster through water than it does through the air. Here, you can hear it in the water resonating through the hull of the boat before the sound gets here in the air. Huh. Pretty cool. Well, it works. Let's see what we got in the box. Directions. Oh, they gave me a disc grinding wheel. That's good. Alright, so that's the little unit there. It's heavy. This is this little thing here. It's like this. Hold on to it. This is the little collar, and then this is the wrench. It's got these little prongs in there that you get the collar off and on with. Let's get this on there. Need a screwdriver. Oh, it's pretty easy once you get, there are two little tabs right there. Those little tabs. And then you just put those tabs down there and then it twists around. Okay, that ought to be that. Okay, let's go see how it works.
Unfortunately, I didn't get a lot of the grinding on camera. It's hard for me sometimes to set up the cameras. I don't have quite the right equipment yet, so I don't do a really good job of setting everything up and making it to where I can record. If I do record, sometimes all you see is my rear end, and that's no good for anybody.
I got that stuff ground down pretty good. I'm gonna try this new filler that I bought and see how it does and fill in some of these holes. I discovered, I guess the longer I'm up here, the worse it gets, but I discovered these back behind here that's gotta be angled down. So this, everywhere there was like a vertical seam, water got behind there. So I'm gonna try to put this putty in there and seal that up. I have no idea how this is gonna work. That's why I wanted that stuff.
The video of mixing this product and starting to apply it is just awful, and there's tons of wind noise. So I'll try to let you know what I am terrible kind of with stuff like this that you have to spread out. It's hard for me to kind of figure out how to work with. I didn't have the right mixing plate, I felt like, or stuff like that. But I scooped it in the best as I could, try to get it back in the back of that area, to try to get it to work in as good as I could. And the results actually surprised me. In a minute, when I saw how it came out, I think that based on that, I may try to use the rest of that quart to fill in some more of this stuff. It actually ended up drying out and hardening up pretty fast and pretty good.
It does dry pretty quick, this stuff. I'll say that. This stuff may be better than I thought it was. It has dried pretty damn fast and pretty hard. This stuff may be a little bit better than I thought. Okay, well that's where I'm going to stop for today. I feel like I got a lot done today, but there's still a lot more to do. The rain is coming in, and so we put the tarp back up and headed home. It may not be till Monday that I can come back down, so we'll try to get started back on it on Monday.
So Sunday's weather was just squally and yucky. I thought the front was going to come through, but it didn't make it until just now. It started kind of raining down here about 4 o'clock this morning, and it's been raining and stormy ever since. Maybe it'll get out of there, but we'll wrap this video up here for now, and I'll get back down there and get the rest of this work done soon.